So again, another pretty crazy 24 hours in the crypto space. But one thing I was telling you guys about yesterday is that I do believe the Bitcoin and actually almost any altcoin price is being manipulated. I still stand by that today. And matter of fact, I would say I stand by that even more so than yesterday. Mostly because of the announcements that have been coming out over the past few hours. Trump Organization just filed a trademark for Trump to launch a metaverse and NFT trading platform. Now that on its own, and this is the funny thing, right? If this would have been a few years ago, this would have just launched everything into the stratosphere. The fact that Trump, right, in this case Trump Organization, is going to go for a freaking metaverse, more NFT trading things or NFT things. Even though I don't necessarily like metaverses or NFTs, the fact that this is done by the United States president or his corporations or his affiliates is so absolutely crazy. But for some reason, we've gotten really spoiled into thinking, this is not the craziest of craziest announcements in the world, so I think we're going down. What? And really, when you just start looking at the things I've got in front of me here, the CME to launch Solana futures on March 17th, pending regulatory approval. On its own, this a while back would have launched Solana a bit, just for the fact that this is nice progress being made. But let me just guide through a few things. So one thing that was quite interesting was that there was basically this rumor going around that Binance was dumping a ton of Solana via their market maker. Now, I already said before over on X that it's kind of weird for this assumption to be made because just because money is moving out of an exchange doesn't mean the exchange is selling it. And just because it's going to a market maker wallet, it could be for so many reasons, right? The market maker, what they do is, well, there's a few different things they could do, but they could, for example, provide liquidity, make money on the spread, fill up the order books. Let's just say it like this. They can take money out of an exchange just to keep it under their own control for a bit. Maybe they want to restructure their finances. Maybe they want to do that. They could take it off to deposit somewhere else. They could take it off because they have an agreement with, the exchange, for example, that they can have self-custody thing. You know what I mean? Like there could be so many thousands of things that are going on in the background. It could be that's their profit that they're trying to take out now every single, a few days in a row for the few years before. Binance now denied the rumors of dumping Solana and other tokens, stating it has not sold large amounts and that market makers move assets independently because, again, people can move their money around. Why would you assume that it's a sale just because Binance is going to Wintermute here? Just because it's a market maker doesn't mean Binance is selling it to them or via them. Theoretically speaking, it will make more sense for Binance to just sell and keep the money on their platform than to sell it to a market maker, if you think about it. They probably have better ways than to use somebody else, but that's just my thoughts. Regardless, this is a period, though, where crypto prices are moving away from what we've seen for a longer time. And I saw a couple of comments of people saying, man, I should have just sold everything. I'm so unhappy. How is your strategy going? And I keep saying, XRP just went to what? 197, something like that, a little bit below $2. And even though I won't be that person to tell you, you should have bought, because I also understand that you can only buy so many dips, I will still stand firm by what I said earlier, which is if you, generally speaking, just keep it up, keep buying, just like I said last night, even though back then it was higher than we're at right now. Right now it's, I think, $2.11 or something like that. If you just consistently keep it up, in the end, you'll be fine. And I've got a really interesting one to say on that, too, actually. So one is, even though a huge amount of money kept getting liquidated time and time again, remember, though, that ultimately, in my opinion as well, the goal is just to accumulate more and more of these coins. The road is going to be bumpy. Sometimes it will be fun. Sometimes it will be cries, right? But Michael Saylor here, for example, said, sell a kidney if you must, but keep the Bitcoin. I would never tell anybody that just because I don't know if you can get sued for something like that. But I think the faith he's got in this industry, in this coin, in this ecosystem, is being shown by tweets like this. And I really agree with him in the sense of there's never a single second of doubt I've got in my coins. I don't know how far they're going to go. I don't know exactly when they're going to go, but all I know is if I, like I've stated for a few days, just do not get distracted, right? I can be millions of dollars in the minus in the midst, but I know eventually where we'll end up. And that's why I like this saying so much. Sell a kidney if you must, but make sure you do not sell the freaking bottom. The counter to it is just because it's gone down 90% doesn't mean it can't go down another 90%. Whoa. Okay, I guess my, if you're still wondering, I'm still on the 113th floor here in the Ritz-Carlton in Hong Kong. It's really still amazing. You can't see the view because I'm doing the lighting setup, as you can see a little bit in here, but I'm just telling you, if you could see it, you'd be amazed because it's really freaking amazing. And sometimes, again, I want to let people realize kind of parts of what you're doing it for, right? A big part of what you're doing all this for, hopefully, you know, when I say crypto, is to get the freedom. I always think like there's so many different investment strategies you could go for, but crypto is one of the more seamless ones where there's going to be ups and downs, sure, where you're going to feel bad or, you know, lose a lot of money, make a lot of money. You know, that's the ups and downs of it. But ultimately, you can do it from anywhere in the world. And especially when I talk about this trading stuff, for example, depending on what strategy you've got, you don't have to focus on your screen every single day, especially if you're a hodler, I should say, then you don't have to focus on it at all. And all it does is just whatever money you've got, hopefully multiply it over time. And I keep thinking about this longer term strategy, but one thing that was quite peculiar that people pointed out was that right now Bitcoin's course is deviating from previous cycles. And CZ, the founder of Binance, responded by saying, is that really true? Mostly from the perspective that if you look at how the price fared, you know, throughout time, you can see about 370 days into the halving, there was a very big flash crash or dip of sorts, which right now we're seeing maybe prematurely, but I guess it just depends on perspective. Nowhere have these dips been exactly the same time. They've been around the same ballpark or so, sure, but 1 month before or after is definitely not that crazy. And ultimately, it is more so about where we're going to be about 500 days in, or maybe in this case here, 350 days in, rather than where we are. You know, at this point, basically, we've, in my opinion, not seen the craziest of moves yet. And yes, this is a bit of downwards, sure, and it's awful to see maybe. Having said that, if you are into trading, there's still a link down below to 𝗏𝗏, which is a platform a lot of people like to use for trading because you can use it from anywhere in the world. And still, for the next few days, there's a trading competition going on with more than 240,000 worth of rewards, and it's a team-based thing. You can join our team with the link down below. Anyway, to continue on with this chart from earlier, remember what I just said. Don't think about it in a few day perspective. Think about it from a few month perspective. All I know is, first of all, there's a lot of people out there who hold zero crypto who are way happier than us right now, sure. But also, most of these people will never experience the highs of what we're about to witness. And remember, most people get in when things are already at their peak, or they get in when things are basically almost topping out, when they're doing so amazing. Most people are scared when things are doing bad. These are the moments in hindsight where you just should have gotten in, should have went hard for it. And I know it can be hard. I know people are always like, but really, I've seen a ton of comments. People are sarcastic, people are cynical, but I've been here for 8 years, all right? Some people like to say, Dusty, where are you when things are going bad? I take a bit of time off because there's a conference and people think I'm running away for low prices. Brother, I've been making videos with XRP at 10 cents. You think $2.30 or whatever is something that I'm afraid at? If you really think that at these prices, I'm panicking, I don't dare to open YouTube anymore, man, you're ridiculous. If all of a sudden we have a crazy flash crash day like before, remember, I would drop everything, but in this case, it's been slowly bleeding down. Bitcoin kept trading a bit lower. Interesting to watch, sure. Today, for example, we have a interesting options expiry that people are talking about, but basically every week's got some interesting options expiries. But I keep reiterating that in terms of fundamentals, everything's going pretty well, right? The news that's been coming out is actually pretty beautiful here recently. And for some reason, still prices are going down. And I keep thinking maybe, really maybe there's just way more manipulation in the background than meets the eye. And really maybe Trump has got a bigger game plan for just accumulating more, getting bigger companies in, setting up fundamentals further. Just like how before the Bitcoin spot ETF came, all of a sudden things were doing bad, right? And people said, oh, the moment's going to come, things are also going to start doing bad. A lot of people said that. Buy the rumor, sell the news. And just because it did bad before, didn't mean it did bad afterwards, though, because prices skyrocketed afterwards. And that's maybe the thing. Maybe they were also trying to put that pressure on of trying to get things down, just like how Trump is doing it now, perhaps to get a Bitcoin reserve going. Because you can think about it, right? These guys still have to buy in some way, shape, or form. And I think they'd also prefer to do that at a low price. And some guys are saying, where was it now? With Michael Saylor, sell the kidney if you must, but keep the Bitcoin. And some people said, no, but for XRP. I don't really think it matters which coin. If you're in one of the top coins, really, that are most likely going to stay around, I think you're solid. It's just a matter of not giving up. But the nice part is, I would never give up because I know it's just too valuable. And I've been here for 8 years in a row making videos. And the one thing I can tell you is, you You got to go a bit crazy on it, right? I know in bear markets, people always like to say, yeah, but I should have sold the top. I should have. Really, if you start looking back at it, even if you did not sell the top in 2021, right now you'd be up. Some coins not, like Ethereum, for example. But generally still, I believe Ethereum will go way higher than it was in 2021. So even if you skip it, all you got to do is just wait a bit more and you'll be, in my opinion, and you'll be up a ton. The only thing is you're missing that opportunity to buy cheaper if you didn't sell it because you might not have money for it. But in my case, people asking, how's your DCI going? Pretty good. Am I down significantly from a while back? Sure. Am I going to be up significantly soon enough, though? In my opinion, yes. And even if I'm wrong, I don't think I can be. So, that's a hard thing to answer because I don't think I can be wrong, if you get my drift. I just don't see any opportunity or any way where this doesn't work out. I just don't see it. There's 0% chance for me. Call me delusional, but that's the way I see this. It's in my opinion, this is not finished advice. It's a 100% guarantee. The only thing I do not know for sure is timing. That's it. So if you're wondering why is this so easy to me, how is my strategy going? Everything's going perfect. I mean, less profit than I'd like to be, sure. But to a certain extent, there's some serenity. There's some calmness in prices going down because I get more time to get myself more coins. Because remember, if I, which I do, believe that Bitcoin is going to $1 million, wouldn't I be happy if it goes to $70,000 in the midst? And the answer is actually, yeah. The higher things go, the more stress I get because they go too fast. I'm happy to accumulate more coins as they're lower. And a lot of people don't get this, but it's not only about getting more dollars for me, it's also about getting more coins. And the higher things go, you might get more dollars, your portfolio might become worth more, sure, but you now, for your same $1,000, get less coins. A while back, $1,000 got you 10,000 XRP. Right now, it's like 400 XRP, if you get my drift, or 500 maybe. It gets depressing a little bit when you realize you could have bought so many coins before. $1,000 a while back could have bought you 5 Bitcoin. I'm talking like 8 years ago, but still, for me, it doesn't feel like that long ago. Or 9 years ago, maybe even. Now, maybe it's way more. You guys get the idea, right? Maybe it was $600. So I always think about it in that way. Gets me through. I never have stress for that reason. If the price drops significantly in 1 hour, all I'm thinking of is, ooh, is there going to be like a liquidation spree? And I don't like to see that. But slowly bleeding down, trickling down. A lot of meme coins are down like 80%, 90% from the all-time highs. I think most of the worst is already over. Ethereum hasn't hit an all-time high yet, though, so I don't think the run is over, if you get my drift, and I keep reiterating this. I still believe it's worth holding on, but if you are doubtful, maybe you don't really know what you're holding anyway, and I'd recommend you to sit down and realize what you're actually buying in for and how confident you really are about it before getting back to this. But yeah, that's better for my thoughts.